That sucks.
Oh, yeah.
You.
This episode of Real Garbage is brought to you by pulling a fast one on your teacher. Pretty awesome.
This episode is also brought to you by putting a little paint on that old barn. Ooh, still got it.
This is Real Garbage.
This quarantine is making people weird.
Yeah.
Everyone's cleaning their houses out and just dumping their shit on the side of the road. I've seen that in a few spots. It's just a regular occurrence in central Saanich.
Yep.
But,
Same in Sydney.
Yeah, this old lady was dumping all of her garbage into the dumpsters over here. Just a van full of it, just dragging shit out, leaving chairs and signs. And I'm looking at her like,
oh my God.
really? It's not my dumpster, so I don't get it. I don't
but
care.
you're like, hey,
I'm just thinking like
who are you?
this is broad daylight too. At least if I'm going to leave something curbside, I wait till nighttime.
Yeah,
and
you have the
pick it up and-
courtesy to like match the sketchy act with the appropriate time of day.
Yeah. It was a wine rack I got rid of. Yeah, I didn't need it. I didn't even use it. The thing was like this tall, had spots for 16 to 20 wine bottles. Who in their 30s buys that much wine and doesn't just drink it right away?
You can make it.
I did once actually. It used blackberry wine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I gave you some of that. I think, yes, this stuff is good.
My grandparents, our garage is full of wine because my grandparents realized that with the amount that is consumed in our house, it's a lot cheaper to make and bottle it rather than go and buy a $10 bottle. We bottled a couple weeks ago 60 bottles and it came to like $180. So that's like $12 a bottle.
It's less than that, isn't it? How many bottles?
Or like 60.
60 bottles.
Yeah.
Came to $180.
Yeah.
That's $3 a bottle.
Really?
Yeah, your math is way off.
I was...
It's $12 at 60 would be $720.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, my easy way of doing math,
I
just chop them into little numbers. So if it's 100 and let's say 60 bottles at $12 a pop. So rather than thinking what's 12 times 60,
12 times 6
yes,
and then add a 0.
Yes, that's the way I do math in my head, and it works. It's worked really well for me so far. I sucked at math. I almost failed grade 12 math.
Ooh.
Mainly because the teacher hated my brother and by default hated me for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
That's right.
We're not the same person. Dick. Anyway, I got like a 56.
Pass.
Yeah, barely.
I find with the subject of math, the type of teacher you have is what makes or breaks your grade. Same with like biology, like sciences, because biophysics and chem, especially physics and chem, are like all about equations. So that's math. But like for English, you write essays, grammar, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
English I was good at.
Yeah. It helps like any subject having a teacher that like takes it upon themselves to make sure everyone understands it and they're not just finding one way to teach everyone. Mm-hmm. Like obviously, for any class that'll make it flourish and be way better learning experience, but I've found that specifically for like sciences and math, it like your grade could depend on what kind of teacher you have, because I had a bio teacher in like 12th grade and a bio teacher in uni when I went, and stark difference in like teaching style, stark difference in my grade.
Well, just think about how many people get out in how many people go to school to become teachers, and then how many of those people go to school, live through the stress of it, blah, blah, work themselves to death, and then they get to teaching, and by that time they're like, oh, man.
You're like, fuck it, I hate it here.
Yeah, and then like, 1 out of, I don't know, let's say 1 out of 5 is going to be a really attentive, caring, awesome teacher. The rest are just going to be like, fuck this job.
Yeah.
Like I had a few teachers like that just didn't give a shit. But I also had some teachers who were amazing. I remember Dean Bobier, one of my English teachers. Shout out to Dean Bobier. He's never going to see this ever. But that guy would make school so much fun. Like class was so much fun. I remember once when Luke Marvin and Justin Hockley convinced him to let us watch Army of Darkness in class. Because they told him that it was an educational video about like a war, like a medieval war. And he's like, yeah, bring it in. This is 1997. he starts playing it, and he's shooting a fucking monster with a shotgun, like in the Shop S Smart. Have you seen Army of Darkness?
Yeah.
Okay. We get to one point where it's like a sweet one-liner from Bruce Campbell, and Bobier pauses it, and he goes, "Are you serious, Justin? Really?" And we're just laughing. We're like, "We got you." And he's like, "Oh, I can't return the VCR now."
People are going to ask why.
Yeah, just reluctantly hits play and watches it. And he loved it. We had only had 45 to 60-minute classes. So we had to watch that movie over 2 classes.
Nice.
It was hilarious. I'll never forget that. I'm like, we totally just conned our teacher, letting us watch Army of Darkness when we were like 14 years old. I didn't. I say we as a collective class.
Like, I'm Spartacus. No, I'm Spartacus.
I'll take Spartacus.
I'll take some of the blame.
God, I'm trying not to shave, I'm trying not to trim my mustache because I want it to curl out and thicken up. But good God, I've eaten so much hair in the last 10 minutes. It's not cool. It's coming in nice though, I think. My mom's, I sent her a video of a house we were working on. She's like, "How long have you been growing the beard for?" I'm like, "Oh, this is like
Ages.
a long time.
Yeah.
This grows so slow." I almost ordered a heated hair straightening comb for it, but I actually canceled the order on Amazon because heat apparently is just terrible for your beard. Even those things that are specifically made for it. I'm like, this thing's getting to 320 degrees Fahrenheit?
Nope.
That's too hot.
Too much.
And everything I read was like somebody would use one or use a hair straightener and then after just feel like their beard was thin and dead. It's like, well, yeah, because you heated it with 320 degree Fahrenheit heat.
That's way too much.
That's over. That's like 200 degrees Celsius. I don't even want to touch something that hot or have it anywhere near my face.
No.
Because like a $30 Amazon ordered heat comb would be something that would just malfunction and scar me.
You'd be Harvey Dent.
Oh, no, thank you.
Plus, a straight beard.
Well, it's just because my hair's so crazy curly, right?
But the hair, like beard hair and facial hair is so coarse that if you straightened it, it would be like...
Well, that's the thing, right? You do it in a straight down thing. But like I'm kind of training mine to, because that's what I've read, is just you train your hair to go the right way. Yeah. So I just put beard balm on it before you came over. And I'm kind of getting this sort of spiky, pointy look, just kind of going with my face. I don't know.
Dwarven.
Is it?
A little bit. I spent the last few days after like watching this movie, I was like, now for something I really enjoy.
Loved what was the extended cut scene you sent me of the naked dwarves having a bath in Rivendell?
Yes. So I was rewatching all 3 Hobbit movies, which I made this like mental note, and I said this to Brandon when they first came out in 2013, 2014, 2015.
Oh, the Hobbit movies. I'm thinking Lord of the Rings.
Not Lord of the Rings.
That's too late.
When they first came out, I was so chapped that they turned the smallest Tolkien book into 3 movies. I was like, what the actual fuck? Why would you do this? It's a money grab. But after rewatching each movie, I kind of like them split up because like whether you're a big fan of the Hobbit book or you read it once for school. Yeah, I have a copy in my car in case like my car breaks down. I'm like, well,
I'm stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, like whether you read it in school, read it once and it piqued your interest and that's what brought you to the movies, or you haven't even read it or you're a big fan like we are. I like, regardless of it being the smallest book, I know with the Hobbit movies, they took a lot of liberties, especially like adding the female elf character, which I was meh about.
Female elf character, Radagast the Brown was not in the book.
No,
the Necromancer
neither.
wasn't in the book. It was just mentioned, but he was not in the book.
He was not prominent.
They didn't even show Bjorn until the end, which is stupid because he's a major character. And there was
was just Elf King.
There was no pale orc in the book either. Like they added so much shit. I remember sitting in theaters angry watching it. The only part that really brought me joy was Riddles in the Dark.
I was just about to say that. I was like, when Smeagol and Bilbo are going back and forth with the riddles. Hell, when I did trivia at the bar, I like made a riddle one.
Yeah, that was so cool. When I remember sitting in theaters, like, this part's awesome. Looking at whoever I was with, but everything else just made me upset.
Yeah, but I did like that they split it up because
no, that's even worse.
Well, no, because I was thinking about it. I like watching Lord of the Rings. I know each movie is each book, you know, but watching that like ever expanding journey over the 3 movies was really like fulfilling, and it was just a journey.
Yeah.
You know, and even though The Hobbit's one book, having it delegated in the same manner as the 3 Lord of the Rings movies, it kind of got the same feel. The first one, like Fellowship, was a lighthearted start of an adventure with a few dark moments. And the second one was them really getting into the thick of it, really getting into the evilness and the darkness, you know, the Hobbit being with Smaug. And
it's weird hearing people say because it's Smaug. Because I always call him Smaug.
Yeah. I can't call him Smaug because then I
still call him Smaug.
I feel like I'm talking about like the weather. Like, look at all that smog.
Because it's like an auger. Auger.
Yeah,
Smaug. Smog.
Smog.
Auger. Smogger. It's the same thing. Same sound. It's the sound. That's what I'm saying.
I guess.
If it was Smaug, it'd be like Smowg.
Smog. Okay.
Because I look at that and say it's Smog.
Smog. Anyway.
Is it Smog or Smaug?
With Lord of the Rings, it's the Two Towers, going to Isengard. And then, you know, Return of the King and Battle of the Five Armies, the fighting. So I kind of like that they separated it. I still think it was a money grab because obviously it was.
Absolutely was.
But
like I said, you could have made that movie into just one 3-hour-long movie.
True. I don't know if they would have been able to cover.
Well, maybe 2 movies then.
Yeah.
Like you could have had the first movie being them going to the Cave of the Trolls, Rivendell, goblins, and then getting to Bjorn's place.
Yeah.
And then maybe getting to the forest, to Mirkwood.
Yeah.
And maybe start the second movie in Mirkwood.
Yeah. With
Mirkwood.
Yeah.
The time of it being captured by the elves wouldn't have to be that long. Mm-hmm. Barrel rides out to the Long Lake.
Yeah.
And then they make their assault, and then it's just bam. I mean,
Fight.
it could have been 6 hours.
Yeah. I'll agree with you on there.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Like it could have been 2 movies instead of 3, but
Yeah.
I don't think they could have done it effectively in just one movie. I think if they did one movie, people would have been more pissed.
Yeah, you missed this and you missed that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. As I've read that book, I bet you I've read that book 25 times.
Yeah.
It's so good.
But back to the extended. So in
Back to where we started.
yeah. So in the extended versions, I purchased all 3 of the movies, all extended. They're each 3 hours long. And I sent you this scene when the dwarves are at Rivendell and they're taking refuge.
I love how all this started from me just going, yeah.
Yeah.
It's dwarven.
Elrond and Nameless Elf are walking around, and Nameless Elf's like, they're eating all our shit. People are complaining. When are they going to leave? And Elrond was like, pretty soon here. And then you hear the dwarves like laughing, and it's this huge fountain that the dwarves are all 13 of them are fucking nude, and they're like 3 of them are stacked on top of each other, and they're having fucking chicken fights in the fountain, and one of them literally had his ass to the elves. So think about that. Someone had to CGI some fucking dwarf ass. Like Peter Jackson was like, right, yeah, I've got an idea. All 13 dwarves are gonna be in a fountain. They're all gonna be nude. Okay, you with me? And they're gonna be chicken fighting, and they're just gonna be having a really good time. Now, who's gonna CGI that? And some guy's like, yes!
That guy goes to show him, Peter Jackson, and he's like, I kind of need more dwarf ass, please.
Yeah.
It's not enough dwarf ass. More naked dwarfs.
And the naked dwarf asses don't make them hairy at all. They've got a lot of hair on the face. They got a lot of hair on the head. But those asses need to be completely fucking bald, mate. All right?
So weird.
So weird.
It's just like, because when you first sent me that, I was like, what is this from? I thought it was Lord of the Rings extended, and I forgot.
And you were like,
see, that's how much I hated The Hobbit. I'd forgotten that they made it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what movie is this? Thinking like, oh, it's Lord of the Rings. Okay, cool. And then
You're like,
Hobbit,
I don't
I'm like,
remember this.
Wait a minute. Oh yeah, that movie.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I also, when I first saw Unexpected Journey and then the rest of them when they came out in 2012 and the other years respectively, I was like, oh yeah, like the like woman in me was like, ooh, hot dwarves, like Feely and Keely. I was like, they're fucking hot as fuck. And
They
then,
are attractive. Yes, they are.
And then rewatching it, it took me out of the movie experience, seeing like Balin and Dwalin and Thorin all being huge fucking burly, like not
Biffer,
ugly.
Boffer, Bomber, Feely,
Keely, Ori, Nori, Dory.
Owen, glowing.
Yeah. I think that was all 13.
I think so, yeah.
It was really, really distracting going from looking at like Biffer and Bofer and all of them, and then looking at Feely and Keely because they looked like men. Like Keely literally looked like Aragorn, and you could obviously tell that they like, I don't even think they put any prosthetics on him. He was the only actor that they used his real facial hair, which was just stubble.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot.
No. And I was like, oh, it's 12 dwarves and Aragorn going on this adventure. Because Aragorn was like the rugged man candy of Lord of the Rings. And I remember as a kid, everyone was like, Legolas is so hot. And I'm like, what about Aragorn? Yum.
He's manly. He's manly. He's
I'm
a ranger.
8, and I'm like, yum.
He's the kind of guy that you want to like take on a jungle expedition if you have to go on one to like hunt down blood orchids or something like they do in this stupid movie, the sequel to Anaconda. Anacondas does hunt for the blood orchid.
Yep.
Hunt for the
Hunt for the blood orchid, baby.
Man. So
he
I'm
would have
like,
been a good bushwhacker.
a bushwhacker.
Bushwhacker
2004 sequel to the hit Anaconda
from 1997.
Was it 97?
Yeah.
Wow. So they couldn't get J-Lo, obviously.
No, she was too big by 2004.
I wonder what she thinks if you were to be like, what do you think of Anaconda? I wonder if she just looks back and goes, ugh.
I don't know.
It did have Ice Cube in it.
Mm-hmm.
Ice
And
Cube
John Voight and Owen Wilson.
That's right. Forgot Voight was in there.
Yeah. He
Voight?
did a really good, like, creepy evil guy. I still can't believe that John Voight is Angelina Jolie's dad.
Yeah.
Like, that weirds me out. Like, how did that guy produce, like, that woman?
It must have been a hot mom.
Yeah.
Because you look at Voight and you're like, okay, I can see the features of his in Angelina Jolie for sure.
But they're way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just happens. It's genetics.
Yeah. She won the lottery.
So I was thinking like this was because there was only one anaconda in the first one.
Yeah.
And then I see anaconda as my first note is, I'm guessing there's going to be multiple snakes.
Yeah.
And yeah, there is.
A bunch.
So would you like to explain to our viewers and listeners what this movie is about?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So in Anaconda, a bunch of scientists discover a blood orchid that grows in the Amazon, and they realize that it could be the end-all, be-all to diseases. So they get money to go on this expedition to get it when it's in bloom. And a bunch of scientists go to Borneo. I don't think that's the Amazon. Sorry.
Yeah. It's not the Amazon.
No.
The Amazon
I
is
just
in
realized.
South America, right?
Yeah, I just realized. I was like, no, it's Borneo. And I was like, that's. Anyway, they go to Borneo, fucking in the Amazon. I don't know. Tell me.
Do they say Amazon?
I don't know.
I don't think they do.
I don't know.
I think it's just jungles.
I just see giant jungle and I'm like, that's the Amazon. That's gotta
It
be
wasn't.
it.
It wasn't on fire though, so it couldn't be the Amazon.
True.
The Amazon's still burning, folks.
I know. Let's not forget. Anyway, so they go on the expedition to get this blood orchid, and of course they run into some anacondas.
My anaconda don't.
My anaconda don't want you to take the blood orchid, fool.
Ooh. But it just this starts right off. Like, okay, we get a quick clip of these pygmies running through the jungle, hunting. We don't know what they're hunting.
Yeah.
Just stuff.
I was assuming it was a tiger because the tiger like leaped away, but it's never really said what they're hunting.
Yeah. So they right off the bat, I'm like, wow, they waste no time. Boom, CGI snake eating this guy. And the snake seems to like, again, I always find it fascinating how these B movies have, all the bad guys have like this sense of timing.
Yeah.
The villains, like the snake like, could have eaten him at any point in time, but instead it's like, nah, I'm going to go up above him maybe instead, and then dangle myself over him, and I'm going to wait till he looks up, and then I'm going to bite him.
Yeah.
The same as that stupid thing in that dumb movie we watched on the train car.
Oh, derailed.
Derailed.
Yeah.
Ugh, that thing just like, I'm going to wait till he looks up, and then pick him up.
Yeah.
Like, no, just eat him.
And right off the bat, my first thought was, why is the CGI in this 2004 movie so much worse than it was in
Yeah.
1997.
It was way worse.
I was, right off the bat, I was like, I'm offended.
The anaconda in the first one actually looked like, okay, that could be a real snake.
Yeah.
It's pretty big, pretty scary.
Well, because anacondas are friggin' huge in real life. So in the first Anaconda, they tried to like make it to scale, or they didn't try to exaggerate the size of it too much. But this one, they were like, fuck it.
It was the size of a bus.
Yeah.
It was a little bit big. Well, all of them were because there was a whole bunch.
Yeah.
So now we flash back to the city where we meet our main characters. And right off the bat, this guy's talking. He's like, we found this blood orchid and it's going to give us long life and blah, blah, blah. But it only has 2 more weeks. And I'm like, did you just find it?
Yeah. Did you just start your
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit.
Because he's like, it every 7 years it blossoms for 6 months. So if you had just found out about this, then I think you'd be planning, a sensible person would plan for 7 years down the road.
Yeah.
And make it like we've got everything we need. We've got air support. We've double checked that there's cell service in Borneo, blah, 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 blah. Not, hey, we have 2 weeks and we got to go like now.
Yeah.
And
Come on, give us your money.
And they're like, oh, okay, fine then. And they just agree to it. It's like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why not? Well, I guess you need the time constraint. But they still could have made this movie better, I think, having this set up right at the start of the 6-month blooming period. They're like, hey,
Yeah.
we've got this thing that's going to allow us to live forever. So let's prepare this. Then they're like, okay, cool. You can convince us. That's enough time. Here's some money. Let's get it in order. And then you can even have a better story, more higher stakes.
Yeah.
Because you've planned it all. Maybe there's more stuff you can lose, and there's more at stake. It's like there's more money involved. And
Yeah. Rather than 2 fucking weeks.
yeah, because like
Thrown together like a project you forgot about.
because we instantly just end up in Borneo, and I'm like, oh wow, they're wasting no time in this movie.
And then the annoying, like, pretentious side of me when he was like, it's Perennia immortalis. I was like, how the fuck does that translate to blood orchid in Latin? It does. That's literally
Really?
the Latin name for it. And I'm like,
Wow.
what the hell?
I would have thought like what is it? Perennia immortalis.
Immortalis.
That to me is like
Pink.
not blood orchid. That's
Pink.
like
Pink.
like a perennial is a flower that comes back every year, right? No, that's an annual. I think perennials are just like a shape. I should know this. I'm a landscaper. Well,
Your job's
I
all
fake it.
here.
But and then the immortalis is like never ending, like
Yeah.
ever,
It
everlasting.
ends. It ends in 6 months.
That's so silly. See, right there's just so many
Come on,
holes.
Latin.
So many holes in the premise.
Fuck. Figure out your names.
And of course, they are the characters. There was Gale and Gord.
Fuck Gale. Like, this is a prime example that we've talked about before. Like, male writers not knowing how to write female characters, aside from one being the lovable tomboy that's cute and innocent and everyone loves, and one being a really annoying shrew.
Ooh. J-Lo wannabe annoying shrew.
Yeah.
It was weird. I've made this comment to you that it's when I was watching this movie, I'm like, okay, she kind of looks like J-Lo at the start.
They're like, we need someone Hispanic.
Well, as the story went on, they made her look more and more like J-Lo. There was a couple points where I went, whoa, I thought it actually was J-Lo. And it actually kind of sounded like her too. I was like, what the heck was that? So that I felt was kind of strange. And I hate when sequels do that.
I know.
They try to get actresses or actors that look like the people that played the characters in the first one. Like, why? Just
No. Create new characters if the old ones don't want to come back.
yeah, anthology that shit. Like it pisses me off or just kill them off like they did in G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, where's Channing Tatum going?
Dead.
Welcome to the Rock movie.
And then, like, right off the bat, there's so much animosity between Gale and everyone.
Yes.
And it's so annoying. You're rooting for her to get eaten by a giant snake.
Well, I thought it was sexual tension between her and Gordon.
Well, yeah.
The black
That
dude.
was.
Yeah. Because like I'm like, oh, she's already at him and they've been there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, they're gonna fuck later. And they do. That's
They
right.
do.
All right, my prediction was correct. Totally forgot.
And then they meet Jin Soon, a.k.a. Johnson.
Was that what that was?
Yeah. He was like, the name's Bill Johnson, but Jin Soon's easier to pronounce. I'm like, Okay.
I must have zoned out at that point. I did watch this because we were on hiatus because I got strep throat.
Yeah.
That sucked. Oh, it was so funny too. It was like Monday night last week. I'm talking on the phone to my friend back home, and I'm like, yeah, I'm my immune system's great. I've been sick in a long time, and as I'm on the phone, I'm like, throat's kind of getting sore. I'm like,
Oh,
no!
man.
And then within an hour, I'm like, fuck. I thought I had tonsillitis. So the next day, I went to the doctor, and they're like, yeah, they give me a
Swab?
swab for strep, and then they gave me the COVID swab too. Gah. I hope nobody ever has to get that.
Oh, because they go right up
They
there.
jam it into your fucking brain. Like right up the nostril. And she goes, this is going to be a little uncomfortable. I'm like,
And she's like,
okay, that doesn't sound that bad. Tilt your head back and like it felt like I hit the back of my freaking eyeball.
oh.
And then she pulls it out and I'm like, oh, kind of gag a little bit. And then like my eyes start watering up. I'm like, what was that? Ah. So that was no fun. But the next day I get a call and he's like,
You're COVID free.
you don't have COVID, but you have strep throat. I'm like, okay, relax, buddy. It sounded like he was having a hell of a day. And he's like, so there's an interesting fact. If you get strep and you don't get on antibiotics, because you don't need antibiotics to get rid of strep throat, but if you don't go on antibiotics, you're contagious for 3 weeks.
Whoa.
3 weeks. So I'm guessing that's probably how I got it.
Yeah.
Somebody else had it, went to the
Yeah.
grocery store, used the PIN pad, and I had to use my MasterCard doesn't tap, so I'd put numbers in, and I just didn't wash my hands when I got home. And then later on that day, I was like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
So I'm on amoxicillin, so I'm like,
That's good.
I'm not contagious, which is great. I've been hanging around with people, and they're fine. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I watched this like the day before that, or no, I watched it that day, or the next day. It was Tuesday. So it's been a little while, so I forgot a couple things.
And then the dialogue where Johnson's like, I'll take you up the river for 50 grand. And she's like, 50 grand? Are you high?
Yeah. Like, what were they expecting?
Also-
You're going to Borneo to try and go up a river in the middle of the rainy
Yeah.
season.
Also, you're dealing with a huge pharmaceutical company, which Gail is a part of. She was sent to oversee like the scientists and stuff. So this is probably a multi-million-dollar funded project, and you're like, 50 grand?
Yeah, what's
We're
50
done!
grand? What's 50 grand?
Like, shut up,
She's
Gail.
like, yeah, we're not doing this now.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you are. So,
And I
sorry.
wrote that guy has a huge mouth. Yeah, I was like, oh, that guy has a huge mouth.
does have a very wide mouth.
Like, you know how people are like, Julia Roberts has a big mouth. This guy could eat Julia Roberts whole.
Julia Roberts' face is. I remember being really high on mushrooms once with my friend Tyler, laughing watching Ocean's 11 because we just kept going Skeletor because her face when you're on mushrooms it's even bigger and her mouth is wide enough already.
Oh, no.
Skeletor! Just oh my goodness. And we went out to the barn and almost got attacked by a horse. It's pretty cool. It's a story for another time.
Yeah.
What was up with Sam's accent?
I know. She was like, had a big southern drawl sometimes, and then she'd be like,
Yeah, no accent. Like this happened in another movie we were just watching.
furious.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that hers was a real accent too.
Oh, really? I feel sorry for people who have accents. I guess we have accents. I'm sure people watching this right now are like, you goddamn Canadians.
Yeah, when I was in the States, my Uber driver told my friend and I that he liked our accents, and we were like, what?
See, my buddy and I went to California in 2017.
We were in California.
We were asked. People were asking us where the places to go were. Well, they talked to us for a little bit. Be like, hey, will you guys you recommend any good places to go around here? We're like, we're not from here. And they're like, what? Yeah, we're not from here. Everybody thought we were from there. Like, oh, you sound just like you're from here. I'm like, well, cool, right on, sweet.
California, dude.
Because I noticed the Canadian accent. If I listen to somebody and I hear a boat, I'm like, what? It's about. Like,
About.
If the American would be like about.
About. Yeah.
It's about 5, 6. But a boat. We said boat.
Yeah.
Like, when did it go from a boot to a boat?
I know, right?
The fuck?
Our mouths got lazy. We went from being like a boat to about.
It's really weird. Because I don't even catch it when I edit these. I'm like, I'm going to have to pay attention to it now. I'm going to hear it and go, ugh.
Or like
What are you talking about?
the Uber guy in California, he asked my friend and I if we like Greek food, and we were like, oh yeah. And he just started killing himself laughing. Like he was like dying. And he was like, I'm really sorry. Like, I'm not laughing at you guys. It's just your accent's so funny. And we were like,
yeah.
we were, we weren't exaggerating it. He was like, because her and I all day were talking about Greek food all day. And we were like, fuck, like, where the hell can we get really good Greek food? Like in California, we have no idea where we are. Like we're going to fucking Disneyland. They don't have Greek food. And then we were in this Uber and we were asking this guy like yummy places to go eat food. And then he brought up Greek food and we looked at each other and we're like, hell yeah. And he was telling us about this place and he's like, do you guys like Greek food? And we were so excited. We were like, oh yeah. And he was just like, he's like, fuck it, I can't.
Oh, yeah.
We were like, oh, yeah, bud, Greek food.
That's like a Dakota accent, like a North Dakota accent. North Dakota. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, bud.
But I worked with this one girl last year who was like that stereotypical Canadian accent you just did. Oh, how was your weekend? Oh, it was good. I had such a good time. Just had a lot of fun. Had some friends over. What are you talking like that for? What's wrong with you? Yeah. Okay, I had one question.
What?
How did they plan on, like, they've never seen the flower. Mm-hmm. No, only seen a picture of it. How are they finding it? Like
I know.
They have no, like, Buddy's got the GPS thing to map out the rivers.
Route to it.
But he doesn't, nobody's like, this is exactly where it's going to be. They're just like, we got to get there. And I'm like,
yeah.
Like, did I miss something? Where was the planning phase when they're like, this is exactly where it is, or this is where we think it is, and we're going to search this vicinity? I'm like, how do you find one flower? And how do you even know there's more than one?
Yeah, it's just the plot hole.
Like, you could be looking for one flower. All right, okay, we're on the boat now.
And then, yeah, we're on the boat, and Gail once again proves herself to be an enormous bitch because Sam's stuff was claimed on that bed.
Oh, yeah.
And she takes it and throws it outside. And I'm like, how petty are you?
Cunt.
Like, you could, like, it's just once again being like, all right, let's play it up. We're going to have Gail be just just the worst.
Well, and then absolutely freaks out at a monkey.
At a capuchin monkey.
You're in the jungle.
He's so cute.
Yeah. Kong.
Yeah.
Kong.
And then rightfully so, Bill is like, you are guests. He lives here.
You are guests. He lives here.
Yeah, he had such a deep voice.
That's Kong. Welcome to the boat. It's going to be 50 grand. I'll take you up the river. But if I say so, we're not going. And you're still paying.
Actually,
he had a great voice.
Yeah, it was so
For
buttery.
video games, he'd be a great video game. He probably is. He's probably, I'm sure if we look it up, it's like voiceover actor. He should be.
He should be.
That guy was like, how was he so jacked?
I know.
Like, okay.
Bushwhacking,
Like, what are you?
I guess.
He's bushwhacking on his boat. Like, he seems like he runs a boat.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't really get a lot of backstory from him.
We didn't get backstory from anyone.
No. Another one of those movies where you just don't care about the characters because you don't understand them.
No.
And they're all just greedy fucks.
Classic.
So, yeah. I have to say, there's no way I could shit through a hole in the bottom of a boat.
Nope.
She's like, that's the bathroom. I'm like, no.
No, it's not.
Like over a river.
Yeah.
A jungle river where I would be freaking the hell out.
Oh, I would too.
Just imagine there's like giant spiders under the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, or a piranha like jumps up and bites your balls.
Gator, a hippo. Hippo just drags you through the hole. Oh. Those things are crazy. I heard the other day that hippos, they don't eat you because I think they're just herbivores. But if you come into their territory, they will like grab you and pull you underwater because they can hold their breath for up to 6 minutes.
Ooh, so you died twice.
Yeah, they just drown you. I'm like, bro, I can't hold my breath for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, no.
I would die a dozen times.
And then Gail, once again, proves just how much of a bitch she is because she is terrified of Kong and she runs and Gordon is like, grabs her and is like, oh, like, are you okay? And she's like, get off me, and like hits him. And I'm like, oh, okay. This is the kind of character we're going to deal with all fucking movie.
Goddamn J-Lo wannabe bitch.
Oh, yeah, and then she was talking... Okay, so it's nighttime, and her and Sam are talking about the work and all this shit, and they're in the, like, captain's quarters or whatever. And Gail is, like, talking down to Sam about like the position she's in and how she came to get this job. And then she makes a comment and she's like, oh yeah, must be just a generational thing. I looked it up. Fucking Gail was born in 67 and Sam was born in 75. They're both part of Generation X. What the fuck do you mean it's a difference of generation? Are you kidding? And she was accusing Sam of like sleeping her way to the top. Like, if you're a powerful person, part of this pharmaceutical company, and you didn't sleep your way to the top, then you know it's possible. So why the fuck are you going after her being like, you slept your way to the top? Like, she's a research grant person. That's like...
I think she's just being bitchy.
Yeah.
Well, again, it just talks about her character. Yeah, she's terrible.
Yeah,
And just bad writing.
Yeah.
It's just bad writing. It's like you're trying to create conflict between your characters, but it's just weak.
Plus, if some woman came at me and was like, you're where you are because you slept your way to the top, I'd throw her off the fucking boat.
Well, first I'd go, where do you think I am?
Yeah.
I thought you mean like you, like right now. You slept your way to the top. You slept, what?
I really needed the bartending job.
I really wanted to work 2 jobs. So I
really
fucked
wanted
everybody.
to be in financial poverty.
I really like the quarantine. I fucked my way right into quarantine. It's easy. I could teach you how. So, the monkey gets left behind.
Oh, yeah,
I
because
thought
he
he got
goes
eaten.
after some fruit, and then we get a fake out that we think he's going to be eaten.
Well, and this monkeys are smart. I don't think he's dumb enough to jump on a piece of fruit and just hang there while the boat leaves him.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know monkeys. I'm not a zoologist or a
Monkeyologist?
monkeyologist. Is that the term?
No.
No. An apeologist. Orangutanologist.
But he's not an ape because he has a tail.
Yes. So he's a marsupial?
Yeah. Wait.
I gotta watch some nature shows. I need to brush up. I gotta watch some BBC, some Planet
You
Earth.
need some David Attenborough.
I do. The Great Three-Toed Sloth.
Here we have.
If you're ever sick, it's the best thing to listen to.
know.
Well, you just lay on the couch and, David Attenborough, lull me to sleep.
I always just think of him slipping in like, they spared no expense. Because his brother was...
Richard Attenborough?
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I
That's
know one
awesome.
is the Jurassic Park guy and talks about like, stuff in the past, and then his brother narrates the present.
I wonder if David Attenborough was narrating when Jurassic Park was made.
Ooh.
Had to have been.
Maybe.
And I wonder if him narrating in the cars, in the vehicles, I wonder if that was kind of like a homage to his brother.
We need to look this up.
Yeah. We will have the facts for you later.
Yeah. Oh, this is where I made a list of everyone.
Ah.
Jack, accent boy. Gail, bitch. Cole, big mouth. His name is Cole. Gordon, guy fights.
They call him 2 things. It's Gordon, and it's Gordon and something else. What's his first name?
His first name's Gordon. They call him by Gordon and then also by his last name, which I don't know.
Yeah, because they call him like his last name for the last half of the movie. It's weird. I'm like, why do you guys call him that?
I know. Guy that fights Gail. Sam, accent girl. Ben, doctor. Bill, boat. Tran, whittler. Because he was the one making the wood carving.
Yeah, what is that guy's role?
I guess he's a
Tran's
skipper.
role. He doesn't really seem to do much. He was asleep when the boat crashed. They all were. All useless. I'm like,
I
who's
know.
driving this thing?
Bill.
Well, not crashed, I guess. Got them into
Fell
a
over a
bad
waterfall.
place. Yeah, because all of a sudden they're like, look at all this debris. And then all of a sudden, the water is moving too fast. And then, oh, shit. But I get ahead of us.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you see Gail and Gordon coming out of the bedroom, and that's when I'm like, they fucked finally. Maybe she's gonna stop being such a bitch.
Okay, you're in the jungle. You're in the jungle on a strange boat you've never been on. Don't lean on something that could be
that
a
you
door.
can't trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I'm not going to put my hand on my screen door and be like, man, this will hold. It's just senseless.
And then she falls in, and then I was excited. I was like, the Anaconda's coming, because in the original one, Owen Wilson jumped in the water to get his girlfriend because she fell in the water, and he jumped in to get her out, and then the Anaconda ate him. So I was like, call back, Gail's getting eaten.
I figured this point we'll get an introduction to it. Just a little taste.
Is a crocodile.
So Gail had cut herself. Gail had cut herself at one point.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I made a remark that she had an open wound when she fell in the river. Oh, yeah. She would have died from something.
Yeah.
Before this
Something
expedition
got in
ended. Yeah. There was some sort of bacteria. How there's millions of unknown bacterial strains that we don't understand.
Yeah.
And viruses like
Corona.
That are this shit that I just read this stat. It's like we keep burning down the Amazon and cutting it down. More shit's gonna come out and fuck us up.
Yep.
And it's true. But this, I'm just thinking like, you die, you get dysentery or something.
Oh, totally.
Fucking tapeworm and crawl in there. You'd be toast. But she comes up, nope, she's fine. Almost gets eaten by an alligator.
And then Bill saves her.
He jumps in there and he fights a gator in the water.
I know, and the gator's doing like the 360 log
death
roll.
row.
Yeah.
The death row.
And Bill's just riding him like a fucking bull at a bar.
That just seemed outrageous. Like, Bill's a badass.
Yeah.
There's no way you're going to... And he's like stabbing it in the head.
And then once it's dead, he goes after and grabs his knife. Like, calm down, Bill.
That was a bit ridiculous. But we're just made to believe that this character is just hardcore.
And then when they get back on the boat and Gail stops freaking out, the gator gets snatched by the anaconda.
Oh yeah, and I love that he spends like a minute in the water afterwards. He kills the gator, then he's just like, meh, just kind of chills out.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I would be scrambling so hard to get out. I wouldn't get in the water. She fell in and be like, well,
Bye.
later.
You were a bitch anyway.
Your gator lunch.
Yeah.
Because there's so much spooky shit in the jungle. I don't even like being swimming in a river around here where there's like salmon and that's about it.
In the Amazon and stuff, there's I don't know the real name for it, but there's the pee hole fish where if you pee, it gets attracted to the warmness and climbs up your pee hole.
Yeah, no thanks.
Parks it there.
No thanks.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't want that. I'm just never gonna go in the jungle. I'll look at it from afar.
Yeah.
The only way I would go into the jungle is if I was with somebody.
Expert.
Yeah,
Jungle
like
expert.
a couple of jungle experts.
Yeah.
People that live out there.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. And then not have to spend the night. Because I used to watch Survivor Man. Survivor Man spent a night in the jungle. No, thank you.
Never. Ever.
So Kong is now alive. He comes back.
Yes, and everyone's like, yes.
And I loved, like, in and amongst all this, that Ben dude is just throwing himself at Sam. Like, listen, we can just do it. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
No strings attached. She's
so
like,
forward.
no strings. And he's like, no, I mean, marry me. Like, Jesus Christ, buddy. But then Jack's trying to get her there, too.
Yeah, everyone is.
And then Bill.
Yep.
Eventually, I'm like, Jesus Christ, woman.
I know. Everyone. And I'm like, it's the accent, I bet.
It's the horrible accent.
Yeah.
And then so he's like, man, it's too rainy. We can't do it. I'm not taking you guys in there. And Jack's like, another 50 grand.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, cool.
All right.
Sweet. I'm like, wow, just like that.
Yeah.
See, there you go. Pharmaceutical money. Pharmaceutical company money.
Pharmaceutical.
And then they wake up. All of a sudden, just
Yeah, they're all
boom,
sleeping.
boom. I'm like, who's driving the boat? And I was like,
They're heading toward a waterfall.
Heading towards a waterfall, debris in the water, and then he's like, shit, the rudder's jammed. And then all of a sudden he goes back to the engine and he goes, oh, we blew the head gasket. I'm like, wait, what? Is it the rudder or the head gasket? You blow the head gasket, that thing doesn't work anymore at all. You're screwed. Like,
Yeah.
And then it's funny because he's like, we blew the head gasket. He runs back up and like, punch it. I'm like, how did you punch it? You blew the head gasket.
And the rudder.
So
Yeah.
this, like, because I blew the head gasket on my old Sunfire once, and that thing just, I'm driving down the road, all of a sudden, white smoke pouring out of the hood, and then it just died. And I was like, I don't know what happened. Called my buddy, and I said, this is what happened. And he goes, oh, that's the head gasket. He goes, that's like a $3,000 fix. I'm like, well, called the tow truck, picked it up, scrapped it, and brought me my license plate the next day. I'm like, all right, well, done with that car.
Oh, my God.
Sunfire had a good life. After I spent $2,000 getting an out of province safety done. That sucked. And then it died. I was like, you piece of shit.
You motherfucker.
Yeah, they go over a waterfall. Now,
They'd all be dead.
yeah,
Yeah.
nobody would be alive.
No.
There's no broken bones, no scars, no cuts, no injuries, no sprains, no strains, nothing.
No concussions, no drowning, no impalement.
Because that was a big waterfall.
That
big
was-
waterfall in a rickety old wooden boat.
Yeah. That destroyed on impact. But no, they're all alive.
It was like a popsicle stick house falling on a rock. Just,
Yeah.
And everyone's fine. They're like, oh, man, okay. And then
They
they
just walk
salvage.
it off.
Yeah, they salvage some shit. And they're like,
Yeah.
all right, well, we're going to have to bushwhack straight through here. Let's do it.
And then they're in that body of water, whether it's a lake or a
Ugh.
river or whatever.
Yeah, waist deep in jungle water. No.
Nope. And then the snake is like slithering around them. Now, anacondas alone that aren't ginormously exaggerated in movies are like 30 feet long or something. They're fucking
That's a long
huge.
snake.
You would feel that.
My apartment is, I want to say like 20 feet? Maybe
Okay, then
20,
yeah.
maybe 22 feet?
Yeah, this would be an anaconda.
Corner to corner, yeah.
Yeah.
Longer. It would be even longer.
Yeah.
And probably
Oh, thick. She be thick.
with 2 C's.
Yeah. So you would feel that. Like, imagine, think about this. When you're swimming, you can feel like a swimmer coming past you, or you can feel because of the waves. Are you telling me not one of them is feeling the way the water's being forced around by this 30 by
It probably weighs
2
like
feet?
1,000 pounds
Yeah.
or more because
Yeah.
they make it look huge. Like
Yeah.
it's 80 feet long.
Yeah, that pissed me off. I was like, nobody's fucking feeling this giant snake slither in between them because they're all in close quarters because they're like, don't separate. We might get picked off.
Well, especially that small amount of water. It's a lot of water, but it's low. So you would think that would be making the grass sway too, and the water actually ripple. Like
yeah, it
that
wouldn't be
and
still.
You'd hear like like splashing on stuff and be like,
Yeah.
what's going on? And yeah, nobody picks up on it.
Nope.
And then of course Ben goes underwater,
And
she's
Ben's
like,
like,
oh,
dun.
come on, knock it off, stop playing around. It's
Yeah.
like you guys should be a little more scared than that.
If I'm in waist deep Amazon water and someone is disappeared and underwater, I would not think that were a joke.
Well, and
At any point would I think, funny joke, Ben, cut it out. I'd be like, he's dead.
well, and nobody would, in their right mind, play that prank on someone. That's
No.
just stupid. Like it's scary. It's a scary enough environment already, and you just almost died.
Yeah.
Let's maybe not pretend to die or
Yeah,
pretend to
you-
get dragged under by something.
Yeah, you've already experienced the crocodile and the waterfall, and now you're like, dun, dun.
Oh yeah.
Fuck you, Ben. And of course, the doctor goes first. Of course.
Well, they
but
didn't-
they,
they
don't
didn't-
need the
they-
doctor anyway.
Yeah, they didn't use them for anything.
Yeah, because they all survived that waterfall.
You've lost everything already. Okay, let's just maybe not worry about it because you don't have enough food to get there. You're
You don't have a way to get there now.
you're in the fucking jungle in rainy season. You're gonna drown before anything happens.
Yep.
No way to start fires. Well, they had a flare gun, but they forgot about it till the end.
No, they got the flare from the other crashed boat. Because after their boat went
Oh,
over
yeah,
the
yeah,
waterfall, they called
John.
Bill called his
is it John?
Aussie friend.
But in the midst of this, they find a leech on the back of Cole's neck, and then he has his whole back
Sick.
covered in
Leeches
leeches.
freak me out.
You ever had one on you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a couple on me. They're
I
gross.
I remember my grandparents had a lake property in Alberta, and we would like go tubing and every summer and spend basically 3 months out there. And like there would be leeches in there occasionally, and they freak me out. Especially because some of my family members were those freaks that open their eyes underwater.
Yeah.
I can do that in chlorine water, no problem. It'll burn a little, but that's fine. But not in dirty lake water or people who open their eyes in the ocean. I'm like, you're
Salt water in your
fucked.
eyes
You're fucked.
burns.
Yeah.
Burns hard.
And I would always feel like they're going to come out of the lake one day with a leech on their fucking eyeball.
Ew.
Yeah.
I'd be pulling that thing off right quick. And then the boot spider, the stone spider. So they, Buddy almost puts his boot back on. He's like, wait, hold on. Tran stops him, pulls the spider out, and then they like they put it in a container for later because it's going to come back.
I remember watching this movie on TV, probably in like 2005, because at the time you had to wait a year until they're on TV. And I remember watching this, and still, if I am camping or my shoes have been outside, I always check my shoes before I put them on.
I do sometimes. I should do that more often though. But I haven't had anything bite me yet.
I'm scared.
But yeah, we flashed to John driving his boat. He's drunk, which to
And then-
me seems like a horrible idea in the jungle when you're driving
Yep.
a boat.
Seems a horrible idea in general.
When he gets eaten by an anaconda.
Yeah, the anaconda waited until he was done his phone call.
Again, this whole idea of animals and the mean animals having a sense of timing. It's like, oh, I'm going to wait till he's done.
Yeah.
I'm going to get him in the middle of that.
No, because then people will be like, something's up.
And I love how his boat just explodes. Like, there's no indication of it being loaded down with explosives or fuel or anything like that. It just explodes.
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
Probably because that alcohol.
oh, because of the bottle of booze.
That fell and broke.
I love that because like we cut away back to the other crew of people and it's like, like what was that?
Yeah,
Dear
huge
God.
explosion.
Like yeah, massive enough to see over
Over the
the
trees.
trees. Oh, it's 7:00.
Oh, I was wondering. I was like, what the fuck is that?
I feel like I got a funny idea. It's a conspiracy idea that the 7:00 noise is actually they just want to get everybody making enough noise to cover up the sound and then putting up another 5G tower.
Another what?
5G tower.
5G tower.
You're not what? How have you not heard about? So there's 3G and 4G.
Yeah, I know what 5G
now
is.
5G is a new network, and you haven't heard of this conspiracy?
No.
So the one I just told you, I just made up. But the conspiracy that people actually believe right now is that the 5G towers are responsible for coronavirus. That they actually think that the 5G towers are giving off a signal that's making people sick with COVID-19. They were actually dumping jet fuel and lighting them on fire onto 5G towers in Britain. I think it was Britain. Yeah, people are climbing up, dousing them in jet fuel. I don't know where they're getting the jet fuel.
Yeah.
And then lighting them on fire.
Wow.
This is the craziness we live with.
Why are people so fucking stupid?
I hate that they share our resources and breathe our air.
Oh my God. Wow, Brandon, you're going to be so proud of me. He was watching this video the other day because he loves learning things for fun. What a freak. No,
Keep it up, Brandon. We need people like you.
no, he was watching about like 5G networks and how powerful or non-powerful they are. 5G networks are on the same side of radio frequencies that microwaves are, meaning they're really, really low.
Yeah.
AM and FM frequencies for radios have more power than the 5G.
Interesting.
There you go, babe.
Interesting, people.
So if you think those are giving you coronavirus, then your microwave is too.
Well, just the fact that people thought that, and then the stat came out that said there are only 5 countries in the world right now that have 5G towers, and every country in the world has coronavirus.
Yeah.
So figure that one out.
So shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that 7:00 noise is done.
Wow.
All right, so they found Livingston. That was the guy's name.
Right.
John
Oh my God.
Livingston.
My note, Livingston is Deadingston.
Deadingston.
I'm hilarious.
Yeah, they find his body all mangled. And then they find that village. So they salvage everything they can.
pygmy
They get to the village, the pygmy village, and that's when they're like, oh my God, it was a massacre. And yeah, so
They find a villager half sticking out of an anaconda.
That's right. So that now they're like, okay, we're going to make up this. Yeah, they're going to make a boat.
They find like a stone with the orchid engraved on it, and they're like, oh my God.
Oh, I thought for some reason it was like a petrified version of the orchid itself.
Just a carving.
Okay. So
But
they found the
then-
carving. They're like, hey. people
But
know
then
about
that's when, because Bill, the deep voice boat guy, was like,
Bill.
I've never seen anyone that big before. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
And then they realize that the anacondas are eating the blood orchid, making them live longer and making them way more massive.
And then I had this, I'm thinking, this is where the snake orgy is going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be at where all the flowers are, of course.
And they literally say snake orgy.
Did they actually? I just made that up, but I didn't realize they said snake orgy.
I'm pretty sure Cole says snake orgy.
Nobody's looking for food.
I know.
Like they
Nobody's
have no
hungry.
food. And yeah, no one's mentioned, I'm starving. I need food. Nobody's getting hangry. Yeah, what are they drinking? Like they have nothing.
Yeah.
And they all look fine.
Yep.
I don't know how you I'm after
Like, has this
36 hours
happened?
no food. I'm like, I'm gonna murder somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After 6 hours without food.
I say
I'm
36
gonna-
like I do it normally. I don't normally, but I'm saying if I were starving in the forest,
Yeah.
I'd be like looking at somebody else in the pool. Hey,
You look like a chicken wing.
yeah, you look pretty good.
And then I made a note. Oh, look, Gail stopped complaining.
Well, because
She's building a raft.
Jack, that piece of garbage,
Yeah, Jack's a bad guy now.
throws the spider because like they're like
On
we're not
Gordon.
going. Yeah, because we're not going, and like boom, bites him, paralyzes him. Then jacks the boat. Jack jacks the boat from everybody. Dick move.
And then Gordon gets eaten by an anaconda.
Then they end up burning the place down. So I love this. They're going bushwhacking in the dark to catch. They're like, we can get to the boat. And I'm thinking to myself, are they going to swim?
Oh, yeah. And
That
then
would be even scarier.
Sam's like, he's going to that orchid so we can cut across and get him and get the raft. Like he's on a boat with the current going for him. You guys are bushwhacking. You think you're going to cut him off at the same amount of time?
In the dark.
Okay.
In the dark with torches. And it was raining too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't even understand how torches work in the rain. How'd Cole get so far behind?
Oh, because they're in that cave.
Oh, yeah.
And then, yeah, Cole, he hears something and just stops and looks around and everyone keeps going. And
They
then
just leave him.
yeah. And then he gets lost. Tran comes to like save Cole, but then gets eaten by an anaconda. And I was like, oh, man.
Oh, and then Sam...
Take Gale.
Sam chops the head of the anaconda clean
In
off.
one fell swoop.
Yep, one swipe
Yeah.
of a machete
Yeah.
clean off. I'm like, no, that you would have had to hack that thing off.
Yeah.
They're not
Like,
made
how
of,
sharp is that thing?
They're
Especially
not made
after
of Jello.
No, especially after bushwhacking all day.
You
That
have to-
thing
you
would
have
have
to
been
sharpen those
dull
things.
as fuck.
So that was unbelievable.
Yeah, but on the bright side, that was the most real-looking anaconda that we have seen.
And then another one gets Cole.
Oh,
he
yeah,
gets- 'cause he
by
gets
the
eaten.
backpack.
Oh yeah.
And then it's wrapping him up, and then they kill that one, and he gets dropped down, and he's like, oh my God.
Bill kills it with a throwing knife.
Yeah, that same knife that he killed the crocodile with.
And he throws it from like 15 feet away,
Yeah.
upwards too, and stabs it in the bottom of the neck.
Yep.
Jack finds the orchid.
He makes Sam go and fill up the backpack, and then she is like freaking out on the log, and it's starting to fall, and she's screaming bloody murder.
And he's yelling at her too.
And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Do you want to get eaten? Like, shut up.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure not all the snakes are going to be banging at once.
They're going to be waiting their damn turn.
There's a couple of them that are watching.
Yeah.
Jerking off.
Yeah, and then the ones that are finished and letting someone else take their turn, they're hungry.
Yeah. They're hungry. They're resting. They're probably looking up. They're like, hey, there's people up there. That's food.
Yeah, and then Jack starts shooting the gun. He shot Bill in the arm. That's one shot. And then he did another shot to like scare Sam into filling up the Blood Orchid backpack. So he has 4 shots left. And I was going to say disarm. After they disarm Jack, they don't even bother with the gun.
No.
Like there's 4 shots in it and they're like, it doesn't exist now.
It could use it to kill a couple snakes.
Yeah.
So at the end of that last scene, they shoot a flare into the snake, right?
Oh yeah, they shoot.
A can of gasoline gets spilled
Yeah, because the snake bites it.
and tumbles away. So there's gas. It's just gas. It's not dynamite. It's not explosive. A little bit of gas gets mixed in with the water. The flare hits the snake. The snake hits the snakes down below.
Huge explosion.
Explosion.
And then Jack goes to grab the orchids, gets bitten by the stone spider, falls into the anacondas. He's dead too, thank God.
Yeah. But I love how it's like a
How,
cartoon. It's like,
how
wasn't-
gratuitous the explosions are in this
it's
movie.
like a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah. Except those ones kind of make sense because they're dealing with cars going a million miles an hour and exploding.
Ugh.
So then the final scene of the movie, they're on the raft, they're floating down to the city, and Bill's like, I know a shortcut. And they're all like, no!
No! Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Shoulder punches.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then I also thought, my last note of this movie was when Jack was on the raft going to the orchid, he made a call and he was like, we went over a waterfall. I haven't seen anyone since. I think I'm the last survivor. Where the fuck is that phone?
Oh, yeah. Might have been in that backpack.
Yeah. Oh, maybe.
So they didn't get away with any orchids, did they?
Nope.
Oh, fucking waste. What a waste.
I know. At least grab one
See,
for all the lives lost.
sensible choice. And this is exactly why greed is bad.
Yeah.
Because right at the beginning, that company could have been like, there must have been one person at that company that said, hey, this isn't a great idea. I know you guys want this now. I know you want to make millions and billions of dollars, But how
wait
about
7 years.
we just be smart
Yeah.
and plan for 7 years? You know, because it's going to come back. We know it's going to come back. And he's
Yeah.
well, maybe it won't. Well, maybe it won't then.
Yeah.
Don't you, like, there's no proof that it's even there.
Yeah.
They just know of it.
It's a pipe dream. Stupid idiots.
I feel like they could have saved a lot of lives just with one guy going, hold on. No.
Bad idea.
Not a good idea there,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That
Well,
was Anacondas.
not as good as the first one.
No.
Didn't
The
have Ice
first
Cube.
one was more like logical, at least.
Yeah, it made a little more sense.
Yeah.
It was a gigantic snake. It looked a little more real. The
And it was
story, because like, what were they in the jungle for in the first one?
Documentary.
Oh, that's right. See, that makes more sense. We're just doing a documentary in the jungle. Cool, easy story.
Yeah.
Not this made up, fabricated, magical, fucking life-giving
Veneria
flower.
immortalis. Yeah.
Now, what do you rate this?
I will rate this 2 terrified capuchin monkeys out of 12 blood orchids. Because the scenery was nice. Like, it made me, like, watching it made me feel like, did they shoot on location? Did they shoot somewhere similar?
Probably similar.
Because it's not as if they did that with, like, effects and they were in a studio in California.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't look green screen.
No.
I'm gonna
And-
probably the same place they shoot like some of the Rambo movies, Hot Shots Part 2.
Yeah, Predator.
Anything to do with Vietnam,
Yeah.
they've got some place.
Yeah.
That could be the Florida Everglades for all we know.
That's true. Swamps.
Florida's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna score this. 50,000 pharmaceutical dollars out of 10 million pharmaceutical
Doll hair.
doll heads. It was a horrible rating. I couldn't think of anything. Yeah, same thing. Like the scenery was okay. The cinematography was all right. But the characters were unlikable. Story was stupid. We didn't get any depth to anybody or anything, really.
Nope.
It moved way too fast. It moved too fast in the beginning and then just like, and this jungle for the rest of the story. I'm
Yeah.
like, you could have taken us on the ride to get there.
Yeah.
I think. And it would have made the story more enjoyable because we would have got a chance to know the characters. Give us the first 25 minutes of the movie, them pre-planning their trip, getting their shit together, organizing their team. Do it like, Fast and the Furious. We need a team.
Yeah.
Get your team together. Introduce us to the team. Maybe show us the flight there.
Or even
some
like
conversation back and forth.
like how they did 6 Underground, introducing all the team members.
Yeah, they're not as badass. And
No.
I'm sure the director probably kicking himself like, oh, I should have done it like that.
Yeah.
And not everybody can be 6 Underground. All right. Time for the next
Movie
movie draw.
time.
Gotti?
Gotti?
Yep.
Like John Gotti with John Travolta?
Yes.
Yes.
Pretty sure it got 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. And
Yeah.
John Travolta is just...
And Gotti's family. I was reading about this recently. I don't know why. I click random like celebrity links on Facebook because I'm a boomer.
Go see what they're up to.
And like John Gotti's family like hated this movie.
Because it was... I turned it on. I watched the first minute of it and I was like, nope. Got to put it on the list.
Yes.
Because John Travolta has done some disappointing things. And this is going to be one of them, I think. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Well, everybody, that was Anacondas Hunt for the Blood Orchid.
Hunt for Perennia Immortalis.
Yes. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Follow us, Real Garbage Podcast. We have new episodes every week, unless one of us is sick.
Yeah.
But I feel pretty good about that now. So we'll see you next week, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
This is Real Garbage.